Hi everyone, my name is Siyadasha Maheshwari and I am a chartered accountant. So today's session is in continuation of my last session, that is regarding the introduction of LLP. In today's class, we are going to discuss what is the salient features of the LLP. So let's start our class. So the first feature of LLP is that it is a body corporate. Okay. Now, what is a body corporate? What do you understand by the body corporate? Body corporate means that this LLP has a separate legal identity in the eyes of law as per section 3 of a LLP Act. So what do you mean by separate legal identity? That means the LLP and its members or the partner are two different persons. LLP is a separate person in the eye of law and its member and partners are the separate person. LLP can purchase its assets, can open bank account its own name. LLP can sue anyone can sue LLP. This is basically LLP has a separate legal identity. Okay. Now the second concept is perpetual succession. Perpetual succession, I think this particular point you have also covered in your Companies Act. Just like in company does not dissolve or company does not die, it still exists if there is change in you can say members or shareholders. Similarly, LLP will also exist even if there is a death, insanity, insolvency or change or retirement of partner. Because of these 4-5 reasons, LLP will not dissolve. LLP will continue to exist. So it is basically what is the benefit of the LLP has a perpetual succession. Then mutual agency. Partner are the agent of LLP but not of the other partners. So the partner of LLP are the agent of LLP but they are not the agent of the other partner. Let's say I take an example over here. There's partner A, there's partner B, they have an LLP AB. So let's say Mr. B enter into some fraudulent transaction. Now for this particular transaction which Mr. B has entered, which you consider a wrong transaction or a fraudulent transaction, for this particular transaction, Mr. A will not be liable. And the reason for it is he is not the agent of Mr. B. Then we have next concept of common seal. If LLP can have a common seal. It is not mandatory for LLP to have common seal. It can act through its partners, but if LLP want, it can have a common seal. It is not mandatory, it is a optional. First thing, if LLP wants to have a common seal, then it should be always in the safe custody of a responsible officer. Firstly. Secondly, it should always be affixed in presence of at least 2 designated partners. It should not be that it is you are stamping anywhere without any authorization. So whenever you want to affix a common seal, it should be always affixed in presence of 2 designated partners. Then point number E, that is limited liability. The liability of members in case of LLP is limited to their agreed contribution. Let's say Mr. A is partner in LLP and he agreed that his contribution in LLP will be 5 lakh. So he will be liable only till the amount of 5 lakh, not more than that. Okay. Then the next concept over here is business for profit motive. Okay. So LLP will always be formed for a business from where it can earn profit. LLP will never ever be formed for a non-profitable, charitable or a social purpose. Never ever. LLP will always be formed for a business which can earn profit. Okay. Then we have point number G, that's the last point, that the minimum number of partners in case of LLP is 2. Maximum number has not been specified. There is no limit for maximum number of partners. Plus, there is one more condition, that it should have at least two partner which is designated partner. Okay, there should be at least two partner who should be designated partner, and out of these two partner, one partner should be resident of India. Now over here, what I mean to say by resident of India is that at least one partner should stay in India for a period of at least 182 days. If you want to check the residential status of any person, how are you going to check? Let's say, take an example, right now the year is 2021. So if I want to check the residential status of anyone for year 2021, what I have to do is, I have to see that in the year 2019 and in the year 2020, for how many days he has stayed in India. For the let's say for the year 2019-2020, if he has stayed for 182 days or more, then he is a resident of India. But if he has stayed for 120 days, then he is not the resident of India. So over here, what I want to say, that minimum partner 2, or for maximum partner there is no limit, so there can be any number of maximum partner, plus you should also have 2 designated partner. Out of those 2 designated partner, one partner should be resident of India. And what do you mean by resident of India? Resident of India means that that person should have resided in India for a period of at least 182 days in the immediately preceding year. That is, in the last year, okay, in the last year that person should have stayed in India for 182 days. Then he will be considered as the resident of India. Okay. So basically, what are the, let's summarize the session quickly. So what are the salient features of the LLP? First is body corporate, that it has a separate legal identity. Second is a perpetual succession, that is the LLP continue to exist irrespective to whatever happened to its partners or the members. Fourthly, the partners of a LLP are partners. The partners of LLP are only agent of LLP, but not of the another partner. Fifthly, that your LLP can have common seal, and next point, limited liability. The liability of partner in case of LLP is limited. LLP is always formed for a profit perspective, and maximum number of partner no limit, minimum number of partner 2. So I hope over here, like till here, you are able to understand all the silent features of LLP. If you are able to get it, thank you so much, and please like this video, share it, subscribe it. Thank you so much.